Welcome back. Today we bring you another inspiring tale, so without further delay, let's dive right in. Some lawyers draft contracts, some close deals, but there are a handful who stand at the gates between worlds, unlocking doors others never knew existed. Peter Zhang is one of them, a figure whose career moves across borders, financial empires, and entire industries. Yet his story isn't just about law, it's about how far one man can go when he learns to speak. Not just one language, but three: law, finance, and culture. Peter Zhang sits today as a partner at Gowling WLG in Toronto, one of Canada's most globally connected law firms. From his office, he leads the firm's China Initiative, an ambitious effort to bridge Canadian and Chinese business relations. To some, it sounds straightforward, but in reality, it requires a rare kind of navigator. Someone fluent in three tongues: Mandarin, Cantonese, and English, equally at ease in a Canadian boardroom or a Chinese capital markets negotiation. Zhang is that guide. He is admitted to practice law in both Ontario, Canada, and in China, something that very few legal professionals can claim. With this dual standing, he straddles two of the world's most complex regulatory systems, giving him a unique ability to untangle legal knots that span oceans. Within Gowling WLG, Zhang is more than just a partner. He is a trusted counselor for a diverse spectrum of clients. These aren't only small ventures testing international waters. His roster includes Fortune 500 companies, unicorn technology firms, and high-net-worth families seeking to preserve and expand wealth across borders. Many of these clients turn to him as their general counsel, trusting his judgment not only on contracts or compliance, but on overarching strategy. Zhang's practice is broad, but centered on key pillars: corporate finance, guiding financing strategies, restructuring, or capital markets moves, mergers acquisitions, OSM&A, overseeing acquisitions, divestitures, and joint ventures, foreign direct investment, FDI, helping foreign entities establish roots in Canada and helping Canadian ventures expand into China, regulatory compliance and dispute resolution, advising businesses on intricate compliance frameworks and negotiating favorable outcomes in disputes. Each project for Zhang is not just a legal exercise, but a balancing act, ensuring business goals align with regulatory structures on both sides of the Pacific. Before becoming an international connector in Toronto, Zhang was already a respected partner at one of China's prominent Red Circle law firms, considered equivalents to the Magic Circle in London or elite American firms. Based between Guangzhou and Shenzhen, Zhang's focus at the time mirrored China's breathtaking transformation in the early 2000s. His specializations in China included corporate restructuring, advising on reorganizations during an era when Chinese companies were maturing and seeking global visibility; initial public offerings, IPOs, acting both as underwriters' counsel or issuers' counsel in IPOs on Chinese capital markets; private equity, PE, and venture capital, VC, investments, structuring breakthrough deals when startups and established firms alike hungered for rapid funding. During those years in China, Zhang gained deep insight into the intricate forces driving Chinese capital markets, the rules, the regulators, and the pace at which companies had to adapt. It was baptism by fire in one of the most volatile financial systems in the world. But before Zhang ever drafted contracts or closed acquisitions, his journey began in investment banking, a chapter that shaped how he now approaches law. For 8 years in Beijing, Zhang worked with an international investment bank and a research institution. These roles gave him a front-row seat to the aggressive expansion of Chinese enterprises during the early 2000s. He wasn't just reading numbers, he was creating strategy. His work revolved around corporate finance, raising capital, restructuring, and managing financial risk, market research analysis, providing comprehensive insights that shape billion-yuan investment decisions. This grounding in finance allows Zhang today to give something precious to clients, not just legal counsel, but legal counsel informed by deep financial reality. He does not view a deal merely as contractual obligations, but as a financial organism, where every clause can impact capital, valuation, or investor confidence. While corporate law and finance dominate much of Zhang's work, he has also carved a strong practice advising on intellectual property, IP as protection, and cross-border licensing strategies. For global companies, ideas are as valuable as physical assets. Zhang ensures that businesses protect rights at home and abroad. He has brokered deals for cross-border IP transactions, negotiated licensing agreements, and structured technology transfers, all vital for companies venturing into new international spaces. In an era where IP theft or mismanagement can cost billions, having an advisor who merges legal precision with cross-cultural knowledge is critical. Zhang steps into that role seamlessly. Foreign direct investment, cross-border mergers, intellectual property licensing. At first glance, these may seem like purely technical legal categories, but Zhang's philosophy is different. He sees each one as part of a larger story of partnerships across continents. A Chinese family conglomerate seeking to expand into Canadian healthcare markets. A Canadian unicorn looking for investment from Shenzhen's tech hubs. An international client restructuring before dual listing. In each case, behind the filings and forms lies a narrative of ambition, and Zhang's role is to ensure those ambitions don't stumble due to missed legal or cultural signals. Beyond law, finance, and governance, Zhang carries one more advantage: language. Fluent in English, Mandarin, and Cantonese, he doesn't just translate words, he translates worlds. He deciphers policy nuance, cultural subtleties, and even negotiation styles that differ dramatically between East and West. For multinational clients, this makes him more than a lawyer. He becomes a strategy partner, someone who can unlock doors on both sides because he speaks the language of trust in three tongues. When investors look at cross-border deals today, they see staggering complexity. 2 regulatory systems, 2 political landscapes, and 2 business cultures. Very few professionals can help weave these together smoothly. Peter Zhang represents that rare professional who can. His career spans from the fast-paced floors of Beijing's investment banks to the elite law offices of Guangzhou, and now to the international corridors of Toronto. Across each stage, he has refined the same skill, connecting ambition to strategy and strategy to results. What makes Zhang's story compelling isn't only his remarkable resume, but the question of where it leads. Global relations between China and Canada are shifting rapidly. Regulations change, markets fluctuate, investments cool and heat up again. And in the middle of those flows stand figures like Peter Zhang, lawyers who are not only transactional advisors, but story shapers of international business. His story reveals itself like a bridge not yet fully crossed, reminding us that the road between East and West is still under construction, still demanding pioneers bold enough to walk both sides. The contracts he signs today may shape markets tomorrow. The guidance he gives clients now may craft new industries on both Pacific shores. And so while Peter Zhang is undeniably a partner at Gowling WLG, his influence stretches far beyond the title. He isn't just practicing law, he is writing case by case, deal by deal, the unwritten chapter of how 2 economies, once distant, continue to find shared ground.